Okay, now on to a cultural change. We reported yesterday that Disney is under investigation by the FCC, Federal Communications Commission, because the Trump administration doesn't like Disney, because ABC News, in particular The View, has pounded Trump for DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. As you know, President Trump wrote an executive order, which is federal law, that DEI is out if you are doing business with the federal government to any extent. And almost every major American corporation does business with the federal government somehow, some way. In Disney's case, it's ABC, the network, which uses the so-called public airways. So the feds can go right after Disney, and that's what's happening. Some stats. Looks like Disney's the most powerful corporation in the world. All right. They got about 235,000 people working for them. 74% of the workforce here in the USA, the rest obviously abroad. $91 billion of total revenue in 2024 for the Disney company. 91 billion. That's big. The CEO, Robert Iger, known as Bob. Hey, Bob, 74 years old, 41 million last year in salary. He can afford that tux, huh? Those new teeth, he can get anything he wants. And Disney is based in Burbank, California, which isn't a problem because California is unbelievably left-wing. But Disney has interest in Florida, and you'll remember when Disney inserted itself in Governor DeSantis's dictum, "Don't say gay" in public school, that was a massive brawl that worked against the Disney Corporation. But they injected themselves in liberal politics, and that's what they did. But I contend that this is personal between President Trump and Disney. And a lot of it is because of The View. Go.
I'm worried about mass deportation and internment camps, and I'm also worried about Elon Musk warning Americans to prepare for temporary hardship. I'm surprised at the result, but I'm not surprised. As a woman of color, I was so hopeful that a mixed-race woman married to a Jewish guy could be elected president of this country.
I think a lot of us are still apoplectic that America voted against a qualified woman again and put in, this racist misogynist, and they don't care. And so it's like, so it's tiring. It is exhausting. It is disappointing.
The guy was not born in this country, who was born under apartheid in South Africa, so has that mentality going on. He was pro-apartheid, as I understand it.
And she had to correct that. But to call a president of the United States a racist misogynist, ABC is going to pay a price for that. And they know these women are going to do it. And they've been doing it for years. So that's what is going on. Joining us now from Atlanta is David Johnson. He is the CEO of Strategic Vision. That's a public relations group. And he follows this kind of stuff, obviously. So a few years ago, it came out, an Axios report, that the ABC executives in Burbank would not greenlight any project, entertainment project, unless there was a 50% part of the project that was devoted to minority personnel. Do you remember that?
I do. And look, they're paying a price with that. We're seeing the movies are flopping all over. People aren't going there. Look at Snow White that was just released. And it was released with the DEI controversy. And it's going to be one of the biggest losses for Disney. I saw just a few moments ago that it's reported it's going to lose at least $1.5 million or more. It's a flop for it.
But couldn't that be because the movie is just terrible? Does it have to do with its DEI policies?
A lot of it is, that's what people think. And they refocused, Disney did, Snow White into a DEI story. We saw with some of the Star Wars shows as well on Disney Plus. viewers are running from it because they don't like their old classics now made politically correct with all these DEI policies. And that's one of Disney's problems. Disney's facing a lot of problems financially. Their shows are flopping, consumers are boycotting Disney Plus. They've lost a lot of subscribers. They're even not going to the theme parks anymore. And a lot of it is because families don't feel comfortable with the Disney brand any longer because of its DEI policies.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you on the theme parks. It's a lot of it's because it costs $1,000 a day to go there.
Well, that too, I agree.
You know,
but it's
and
a
that's just
combination.
wiped out. And talk about DEI. What's the I? Inclusion. Well, you're not including working class and poor families when you're charging $1,000 a day. So I say, look,
Exactly.
the hypocrisy is just staggering. Now, we had Bernie Goldberg on a program yesterday, and Goldberg asserts, and he put this on his website, bernardgoldberg.com, that a government, powerful Washington, D.C., doesn't really have any right to go into a private company and tell them how to run their operation. Do you believe that?
Oh, I do. I mean, I'm a capitalist. I believe consumers decide the marketplace. And if they don't like it, the company can go under. We're definitely seeing Donald Trump with this FCC investigation go after The View. But ultimately, it's going to be the consumer that decides. And right now, Disney has numerous problems because the consumers don't like them
And
at this point.
and you believe that problems creatively from Disney are stemming from their insistence that they have a quota system for minorities. I'll tell you an interesting story. I've said this once before on this program. I know both Kelsey Grammer and Alec Baldwin. They shot a pilot for Disney. I guess it was 6 or 7 years ago. And the pilot was very funny. It was about two talk show hosts, but they reversed it. Grammer was the liberal and Baldwin was the conservative. And they didn't pick it up, Disney, according to my sources, which are pretty good, because there was no minority in the starring roles. Now, if I had a bet, I would say it was true. I can't say with 100% certainty that's true, but that's what happened. I know that's what happened. They didn't pick it up. Now, if what you're asserting is that has stemmed right across the line in their products, because entertainment is supposed to be entertaining, not woke. I don't know of any woke projects that are really making it. Come to think of it, do you? Do you know any woke stuff that's making it in the entertainment
No, I
industry?
don't. In fact, too, Disney tried to do a woke Star Wars, and they axed it instantly because Star Wars fans rebelled against it, especially when the so-called Jedis used the pronouns.
Okay.
But no, it's not making it, and Disney's suffering from it.
I'm trying to think of one woke project that has been successful. Final question is, I think a lot of this is personal. Donald Trump, he's got a list, payback list. I think that's true. Do you?
Oh, I definitely do. And the problem for Disney is they're already weak, and this payback list might be the final nail in their coffin.
I don't see them going out of business. The structure's too big.
They're not going to go to business, but they're going to be diminished.
Yeah, they'll lose. The kids still want to go. The kids don't know, and to the theme parks and all of that. Ms. Johnson, thanks very much. Really appreciate your expertise.
Thank you.
Okay.